Hello everyone, Planty and John here.
Hi guys, we've got a massive announcement to make. We're doing our first live show this year. What films are we talking about?
2001's Shrek, John. The OG.
The OG. R.E.
Very good. Yes, indeed. It's an all-ages show at Carlisle Megacon on August 17th, which is Carlisle's premier nerd gathering with over 40 stalls, gaming, cosplay, and really handsome podcasters.
Do I have to watch my language then?
Nah, it's fine, mate. There'll be other Scottish people there. We'll get subtitles for the English.
That's Megacon at Richard Rose Academy, Carlisle, on the 17th of August from 12 noon. It's £5 a ticket, and that includes seeing Beautiful Us.
And my brilliant Scottish accent. Ugh, donkey!
Aye, right. Jesus Christ. Hi guys, on this show, we're looking at Monia, Leo, Pullman, Bennett, Harbour, Moretz, Csokas, and Washington. We're looking at 2014's The Equalizer.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of 100 Things We Learned from Film. I'm one of your hosts, my name's Planty, and I haven't got anything funny to say.
Oh man, and I'm the other guy, and I am the divider.
Do you know what? I was going to go with the subtractor at one point as well. Fucking hell, mate. You see, we're doing this so long. John, how are you?
I'm alright, mate. How are you?
A bit under pressure at the minute with life in general. Poorly cats and workmen in the house and work and all of those things. So, listeners, it is my absolute promise that I am going to put all that on the back burner for an hour while I do this and try and make you all laugh or learn something. This, of course, is the podcast Try to Learn 100 Things from every film we talk about. John, what film are we talking about this week?
So we're looking at 2014's The Equalizer. So that's why I'm hoping the divider comes in.
What did you think to this one, John?
Right, so first of all, we'll get facts, a couple of facts about it out of the way. So it was based on a TV series in the 80s. It ran from 1985 to 1989 with 88 episodes running over 4 seasons and starred Edward Woodward. And I absolutely loved it. And the theme music was amazing, and it's not on this, so that is annoying. That is really annoying.
So minus a star straight away.
Straight after that. No good music. How dare they?
Did you enjoy the film though?
Yeah, no, I thought it was good. Yeah, I was looking at a nice, more subdued, calm John Wick sort of Jason Bourne thing going on.
Yeah. I watched this. I think me and Rachel watched this. I think I certainly watched it years ago when it came out on DVD or streaming or whatever at the time, and I fucking hated it. I hated it. I thought it was just such a by the numbers load of rubbish, right? And then we watched it again a few weeks ago, and I had such a good time with it.
That's
like
annoying,
it doesn't pretend to be anything at all. It's a proper dad film, isn't it?
Oh yeah, but it makes you all feel proud to be a dad bod straight away, doesn't it?
Yeah. I wish I had a dad bod. Christ, it's all right. It's stupid, but it doesn't half take itself seriously though, doesn't it? I haven't seen the other two. I haven't seen the second and the third one, but fuck me, it really believes it's saying something.
I don't remember Edward Woodward going to the Ministry of Defence and stuff. I don't remember any of that sort of thing. Like, what the hell? He was just an ex-cop, wasn't he, or something? Wasn't he?
I think ex-SAS or something like that, wasn't he? Anyway, it is what it is. If you like what we do, listeners, you can give us a quid and we'll give you a shout out every episode. We'll also give you the chance to pick an episode for us. Hopefully, as long as life doesn't get in the way, we'll be doing one of those in the next couple of weeks. With the choice this time is Gavin Belson, who's been on the previous episode, The Football Factory.
Yeah, that was a good bit. I liked that. Enjoyed that episode.
It's a fucking great episode of terrible film. So sort it out, you schleg. So yeah, you can you follow us anywhere you want at 100 things we learned from film.co.uk, and that will also link to our Patreon, which is also patreon.com/100 things. Right, let's get started, shall we?
Look, what have you go?
In fact, John, was there any other films we could have talked about in 2014?
Well,
we used to do that. We used to do that when I remembered. Fucking hell.
That's all right. You've got other things in mind, don't you worry. Yeah, we've got lots going on. So we've got the drop with is it James Gandolfini and Tom Hardy?
No idea.
What? Fury?
Not Fury Road?
No, Fury, just Fury.
Okay. The tank one. Was that the tank one?
Aye, that's it. Yep.
Yeah.
Tusk, which I'm going to actually watch. I've never seen it before.
Tusk I've seen. Yeah, Tusk's okay.
Is it as good as they say, or is it as bad as they
Yeah, it's okay.
say? That'll do. Dracula Untold. Luke Evans.
Sure.
So a couple of shiters, so that Divergent and The Giver, which are two films that just didn't go anywhere. They were part of that series.
Divergent. There was meant to be 3 or 4 of those.
And they gave up. They literally just gave up. I think there was 3. And Ex Machina, which I really enjoyed.
I need to watch that again because we've just watched Civil War. That's Alex Garland as well.
Yeah.
Have you seen Civil War yet, John?
No, yet. Is it
fucking hell? Yeah. Don't read anything about Civil War. Just watch Civil War. It's fucking brilliant. Yeah, it's easily one of the best things I've seen this year.
Cool. I'll give it a go. But yeah, I ended on a high. So there's a lot of other guff in there, but I think I would end on the Ex Machina.
Okay.
Ex Machina.
Ex Machina. Ex Machina. Right, so The Equalizer. I've written here, parentheses, Denzel does Death Wish.
Very much, aye.
Worldwide gross of 192 million off of a 55 million budget. So you can see why they keep making them.
Oh, yeah.
But I assume they've diminishing returns.
So that Escape Artist Entertainment's done a few reboots. I see they've done Magnificent 7.
Yeah, that's another Antoine Fuqua film.
Yeah. They also did A Knight's Tale, which I really enjoy.
A Knight's Tale is great. Yeah, Knight's Tale.
This is rubbish, and I was like, this is good.
I think A Knight's Tale might be a future episode, possibly. If we're really running low on films, it might be.
We'll give that a go.
They've produced a lot of shit as well, John. Escape Artist films. Nicolas Cage in The Knowing.
Yes, that was.
Spoilers, it's Angels, I think.
Yeah. It's so weird, isn't it?
Yeah, thank me later, listener.
No,
remakes of classics such as Take the Pelham 1, 2, 3, and as you mentioned, Magnificent 7. Have you seen that Magnificent 7 remake?
Yeah.
Fucking crap.
That was.
That's what happens when you make the star of your film Chris Pratt. Listen up, Nintendo.
I know. Stop doing it.
Taking the Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Star-Lord, that was it. Oh, that John Travolta, wasn't it?
The original Take the Pelham 1, 2, 3 is one of my favourite films, so nothing's going to come close to it.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to add that to the list, actually. I think I'll put Take the Pelham 1, 2, 3 on this, because we'll get loads of grimy, dirty New York and some train facts.
Yeah.
Choo-choo, motherfuckers!
Choo-choo! Talk about reboots. Reboots. The reviews or the first thing was for The Crow just came out.
Oh, have they? Is it atrocious? Is it bad? We're going to do it, Jan. We're going to do it. I'm going to force you to get the pictures and watch it. Escape Artist founded in 2001, by the way. Right, anyway. This opening Mark Twain quote. The 2 most important days of your life are the day you're born and the day you find out why. Okay.
So deep. What's your takes on Mark Twain? Which would you know him from?
I know him from. Is it Bill and Ted? Is he in Bill and Ted cartoon episode? I don't know where else I know him from. I haven't read any fucking.
No, I only know him for the Huckleberry Finn stuff. Isn't it?
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, that's a bit racist now, isn't it?
I know, you can't do that.
I don't know anything about him, mate, I'll be honest. I think he was, as I say, I think he was in a cartoon episode. He looked a bit like the Colonel from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yep, that's
pretty much all I can tell you. Jesus, we're such fucking heathens. Which, more on me being a heathen coming up very, very shortly, listeners. This beautiful Boston morning with this bridge, by the way, John. I fucking love a bridge.
Yeah, me as well. It looks like the Queensferry crossing.
It does look like the new Queensferry crossing. I did think that. It's called the Leonard P. Zakim Bunker Hill Memorial Bridge.
Or the
Snappy.
Zakim for short. That's a call. Or the Bunker Bridge. One of you two.
The Bunker Bridge. It's 1,432 feet long, has 10 lanes of traffic, and makes the Middlesbrough Transporter Bridge look like a pile of shit.
That was a good, lovely bridge, though.
It is. It spans the Charles River in Boston and was opened in 2003 at a cost of $105 million.
Oh, that's all right.
Which this film made that amount of money. So, you know,
just building our bridge.
Mate, get over it.
Hey!
An alarm in this bedroom's going off, but the bed's empty and made because its owner is who, John?
It's the one and only Denzel.
It's
Denzel!
It's the Equalizer. Well, not quite yet. Denzel on his Triple Crown for us this week.
Yeah.
Because we did that Antoine Fuqua Training Day movie, which was much worse than either of us remembered.
Yes.
We did Inside Man,
Yep.
which is just fucking much better than I could have even have remembered.
Yeah.
And this, much better than I could have even remembered.
Shaving his head with a electric razor.
Yeah, he was.
Have we done electric razors before?
You tell me. I don't know why I'm asking you to tell me, because usually I'm the one that knows these
I'll
things.
put it back out there. First working electric razor was invented in 1915 by a German called Johann Berker.
Oh, right. Berker.
Easy for you to say, Berker.
Berker. So, German's not very popular in your neck of the woods at the minute, are they,
Oh,
John?
I don't.
Just dating this one.
I couldn't.
Jawohl. I watched it from start to finish, John.
I didn't. I couldn't do it. I thought I was jinxing it. Oh, mate, I can't wait to sit. Oh, I can't.
Can't wait till England get obliterated by some fucking Serbian mob lot. Speaking of which, let's get on to this film, which potentially has some Eastern European. No, it was brutal. It was fucking brutal that last night. Anyway. He's making this protein shake in this old school blender, which I loved, by the way, and then cleans his New Balance shoes with a toothbrush, doesn't he?
Yeah, NB, remember? NB?
Yeah. New Balance, a Boston company, John, founded in 1906 by Englishman William J. Riley, and has its base at 100 Guest Street, Boston, and was initially set up as an arch support company.
Get out of here.
There you go. His daughter Eleanor bought the company off of her dad in 1960 and designed the first running shoe called the Track Star.
Nice.
Bit of local crack for me, living in Cumbria. The UK factory opened in 1982 in Workington and moved to Flimby in 1991. I pass the factory shop every now and again when I'm at work, and I'm like, I need to go in, and then I realise I'm at work. I don't really have time to go and buy fucking shoes. Yeah. Exactly. It is the only thing, it's the best thing in Flimby that isn't the road in and out, which is the same road. Which is one of only 3 roads in Flimby, listeners. It is, don't add it to the list of places to visit when you come to Cumbria. We see him at his job at, now I've written here at Home Depot, but it isn't, is it? It's called Home Mart.
It's Home Mart, so it's fictional for this, but I actually found a Home Mart in India.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
All right, very good. Home Depot is the largest home improvement retailer in the United States. In 2021, the company had 490,600 employees and more than $151 billion in revenue.
Shop smart, shop S-Mart.
Shop S-Mart. Very good.
So good.
They're doing all right. Everyone loves him. Right, now, my aim in life is to be this guy, right? Not the killing bit, but to be this guy at work.
Revered.
Right? Who just helps everybody and doesn't give a fuck, right? He just spends all of his time being nice to everybody.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, people are cunts.
People really are.
It's not me, listeners, that's cunt. It's people. And if people were just better, I would be more like him. It's not me. I'm not the one with a malfunctioning personality. It's everybody else.
Yeah, to blame. Yeah.
It is, yeah. But he's lovely and he's so nice.
Yeah.
Like, he knows everything about everybody.
Yeah.
And, man, do you know what? He's fucking funny as well. It's Denzel doing his best, all his best little kind of
quips, his little
funny bits and stuff. Have you ever seen a Denzel Washington comedy? I'm trying to think what I've seen him in that's it's a comedy.
Virtue.
Because he's really funny in Inside Man.
Is it Virtuosity?
That's not a comedy. I think it ends up being a comedy. I think it's
laugh
meant
with
to
that.
be.
No. I had a proper laugh. That was terrible.
Unintentionally fucking shocking.
Russell Crowe as well. Jesus.
Yeah, and the big 90s suits. Yeah, but he is funny.
But I don't think I've ever seen him in a comedic role.
No.
Ever?
No. He must be in stuff. He's in loads of Spike Lee stuff. He's funny in Spike. He's got to be funny in Spike Lee stuff that I haven't seen.
You can't have a big talent like that.
Crooklyn and stuff like that, but I haven't seen it. I have such a big gap in my Denzel viewing list of films. But I'm not watching that fucking Antoine Fuqua Magnificent Seven again, mate. No. I'm just not. Yeah. I just flat out refuse. There's enough remakes of the Magnificent Seven. It was. That I don't need to. What?
Was there no him when Robert Two Guns or something like that? And
is that a comedy?
I think so.
Is that not Ryan Phillippe?
Hang on. I'll tell you. Was it called Two Guns or something like that?
No, Two Guns. It is. It's Marky Mark. Yeah. I've definitely blocked that out because it's Marky Mark.
Right. Dark comedy. So as a comedy.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
What's it? Hey, bro, I'm working with an African American. I'm not going to punch him, bro. Promise. I've done Marky Mark in a while.
No. When are you going to start?
It's good.
Get in the car.
The car. He peaked for me, Marky Mark, in the Infernal Affairs remake, The Departed. He's really fucking good in that. And I thought he was going to move on. I thought he was going to go on and be phenomenal because he's like the bad cop, isn't he, in the Internal Affairs?
Aye.
And
he pops. No spoil for anybody, but it's so good.
Anyway, he's brilliant in that. Mm-hmm. And then he's just awful. I think it's just awful. I think it's just because he's an awful person. So at lunch he sits with Ralphie, not Marky Mark. He wouldn't help anybody. Especially because Ralphie's not American.
He's not American, is he?
Ralphie's Mexican. He claims to have a tuna sandwich with veggies. He bites into it and it's crunchy. And he goes, "That's a tuna bone." And he's like, he says, "I like crunchy things." Denzel reminds him that he's got a test for a security next week, and he needs to lose weight. And he's like, okay, no more flavour. And it's sweet.
That's sweet. Aye, that's good.
We see Denzel's character living this Spartan life, isn't he? This terribly Spartan life. Robert, he's called Robert McCall.
Yeah, which
is the same name as the character out of the original
Equalizer.
Okay, the actual Equalizer. Not this guy. He gets the bus to work. He eats at his apartment alone. He cleans. He's very regimented. And he uses his watch to time everything he does.
Yeah, he's got a stopwatch. Stopwatches were the eldest got a stopwatch was back in 1690. 1690, big man.
Oh,
before
nice.
Anybody had a team.
Very good. 1690 when Hannibal had a team, possibly.
Aye. When William of Orange had a team.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Fucking hell.
And deep there.
So long, Catholic and Irish listeners, and anybody that's not an arsehole.
Oh, too
funny. Anyway, very good. Oh, I'm glad this gin's starting to go down well. It's 1 a.m. and he's reading, but he can't sleep, so he picks up this tea bag and he wraps it in a paper towel and he heads to the diner across the street.
Yeah, the Bridge Diner.
The Bridge Diner.
Have you checked it out?
I have, mate. Yeah, did you find it then?
25 Everett Street in Massachusetts, and it was actually a floor covering store.
It is, yeah. It's Chelsea floor coverings, isn't it? Chelsea flooring. Right. Again, going back to the football factory. He sets his book down, The Old Man and the Sea. The Old Man and the Sea, John, of course, Ernest Hemingway's last major fictional work that was published during his lifetime. Anyway, September the 1st, 1952, it won the Pulitzer for fiction in 1953 and the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1954.
Jesus.
It's been adapted into 3 films. The 1958 one was Spencer Tracy. In 1990, it was Anthony Quinn. Remember him?
Yeah, remember him.
And the 1990 1999 animated film,
No, man,
which is apparently oil paint on glass.
Really?
How the fuck they do that, I don't know.
Sounds good though.
It certainly does. The chef, the guy brings over a mug of water for his tea. This chick at the counter, little Chloë Grace. Now, Chloë Grace Moretz, I said, and you pointed out when you were doing the intro, it's not Moretz. How do you pronounce it?
It's Moretz.
Moretz.
I know. I'm not getting it. So I've done a couple of them. So I do that Google Translate thing, and both of them came up with that. Moretz.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Weird.
Cute as a button. 17 years old, John. She was only 17 years old.
What, in this?
Yeah.
At this time? Jesus Christ.
She was only 17 years old. The character is a letter? Battle angel? Question mark? I don't know.
That.
Prostitute angel singing? A letter the singer is the thing, isn't it? So the character was meant to be 24, and then she auditioned for it and managed to convince the director and the casting directors that she should be picked. So they rewrote it for 17 years old. To be honest, I thought she was older in it, but again, she's been around for so long, this kid now, hasn't she? And she's probably only like 25.
Big, massive science fiction stint, didn't she? She was in a lot of science fiction, Wave and all that sort of thing. So she's done
did a lot of kind of like Netflix stuff.
Yeah, there's an Apple that is it the Peripheral, but something like that.
Yeah. She's good. She's a good kid. She was cute as a button in that Kick-Ass, wasn't she?
And,
she was so good in that.
Oh, Hugo as well she was in, but apparently she lied about speaking French.
Oh, did she really?
She lied.
Oh, right. Okay.
So
Not for this film, but you're still getting that fact. I forgot about Hugo. I went to the cinema to see that. I saw that in 3D at the cinema.
It was a spectacle. It was.
Yeah, it was. It was something else. Yeah. Anyway. She comes over and he reminds her she was going to give up. Oh no, she doesn't come over, but he reminds her she was going to give up refined sugar as it's bad for her vocal cords.
Yep.
They've got this rapport, and then she leaves. Let me know how he gets on with that fish, she says. Next day, the boys at the thing. This is probably my favourite bit of the whole fucking film.
Did you get anything on processed sugar affecting your voice?
I didn't, mate. No.
Well, apparently it does. So sugar's quite hard to break down, and it has inflammation-enhancing properties. So it does muck about your throat.
Oh, see, mate, you're doing it. You're doing all the work this week.
All right.
Doing all the work.
All right.
I love it. Next day, the boys are saying that they've got a bet that they know what they did before this. One says insurance claims, and the other says that he was on Wall Street. He says, I was a pip. Yo was a pimp? No, a pip. You know, like Gladys Knight and the Pips. And the dance, man. He's doing the dance.
Oh,
and then he does the spin, and somebody in the background's like, oh my, he's done the spin. I adore it. Like, I'm laughing so much both times. And the second time I was watching it doing my notes, I got my headphones in. I was sat at the dining room table. Rachel was watching the TV, and she threw a cushion at me because I got my headphones in so I couldn't hear her. She was like, what are you laughing at? I was like, I'm laughing at him doing the Gladys Knight and the Pips dancing thing. She was like, it wasn't that funny the first time. I was like, it really was. It's so good.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it muchly.
Gladys Knight and the Pips, you know her, of course. But the Pips were her brother, Bubba Knight, and her cousins, William Guest and Edward Patton. Not that one. Not the... Yeah, not him. The big song was Midnight Train to Georgia, of course, which comes up later in the film. 1973, 52 in Australia, 10 here, 5 in Canada. Sadly, John, it didn't chart where?
In the Netherlands.
It did not, no. But it is a song I want played at my funeral. And listeners, you're all invited. Just fucking turn up. Dance on the fucking coffin, please.
On the ashes. You're getting burnt.
Gladys Knight. Gladys runs Gladys Knight and Ron Winans Chicken and Waffles.
What?
There are 3 restaurants in the southern states of America. I'm not entirely sure what the Pips are doing now because payphones aren't really a thing. So.
Oh, I thought you were going to go for apple or orange.
Oh,
they've been
payphone Pips. They watch it on Soul Train. Soul Train's basically Top of the Pops, but for black artists. created and presented by the fantastically named Don Cornelius.
Nice.
It was brilliant, isn't it? From 1970 to 1993, and there was 734 episodes. So it's like some sort of mafia version of one of the monkeys from Planet of the Apes, didn't he?
I was going to go Hitman and Her.
Jesus, live from Stockton-on-Tees.
With a silver wig on. Yeah, boy.
Jesus Christ. One night at the diner, Chloë Grace Moretz, Aletta, or whatever she's called, comes back in. We learn that the man caught the fish. Happy ending. He says, well, not quite. He caught the fish and tied it to the side of the boat, and sharks came and ate it before he could get back to the shore. He says, but the man came to respect the fish the more it fought. He had to be the old man, and the fish had to be the fish. So be what you are in this world. And she's like, yeah, I think we both know what I am. Just then, her phone rings, and a Slavic voice says he has a client. She doesn't want to, but she does. She gets in the limo with this big, fat, sweaty man.
Oh, aye. He's a big, fat, sweaty man.
He was pretty disgusting. I almost expected to go, yeah, it's Mr. Big from Mr. Big Records. And I want to offer you a singing contract. I love what you do, and I want to offer you a singing contract. Of course, that's the happy ending. We'll do the Scooby-Doo ending and the Thelma and Louise ending as well.
I thought you were going to say the mist ending. But everybody
Oh, Jesus Christ. Next day, Ralphie's pulling this truck tyre while he's coached by Robert. He gives up until he tells him he doesn't want him to fail his exam. Again, really nice. How heavy is a truck tyre, John? Commercial trucks in America, roughly between 100 and 250 pounds would be the weight of a truck tyre. So like the weight of a person, basically.
Nice.
It's at this point I had to question, when's he going to start kicking people's asses? Is it when they shoot his dog, or is it when his daughter gets taken?
Or somebody steals his stopwatch. It does go on a wee bit at the beginning, doesn't
it? It's half an hour too long, this film. It's 2 hours and 12 minutes. This is if you've not seen it. It's on Netflix in the UK. It's just too long.
Yeah.
It's just too long, including 12 minutes at the end, inexplicably, that it doesn't need.
Yeah,
it could come in at under. You could still have every single bit of the film.
45.
You could still have it all at under, £2 without a problem at all. That night at the diner, Robert brings a letter, some cake from work. It's loaded with poison, just like you like it. Her real name's Terry? ? I've written here, she brings Terry some stuff. She's called Terry, I think, and then she admits that she's called Alina or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, I couldn't keep track. She heads over to his table. She says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm breaking protocol." I was like, "Wow." He says, "No, come over." She's been hit. He says, "I'm Bob." She says, "You don't look like a Bob. You look like a Robert." Bob watches TV and Robert reads books like this. She gives him his CD. "Let me know what you think." And this is where he says, "Alina the singer." And this is where she says, "You and I know what I really am." He says, "You can change your world." She asks if there's a Mrs. Robert. There isn't. There was. And she was reading the 100 books you have to read list, John.
Yeah.
She got to 97, so he plans on reading them all so that when they meet again, they have something to talk about. Oh,
that's nice.
He's currently on 91. So, John Boy, my question for you, as I sent you an email earlier in the week, did you have a chance to have a look at the Goodreads 100 books to read before you die?
Yes, I did, yes.
How many have you read, John?
None.
Oh, not a single one?
The only book I've ever read, and I think I've told you this, is
the TV guide.
Back to the Future 2 and
the novelisation of the film.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Right. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy's on there. You've read one.
Oh, no, one then? Oh, fuck,
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy's on there. You've read one. I've done marginally better than you. I've read 5.
Yeah.
I'm not a reader. Me and you aren't readers. No, Lord of the Rings, I haven't.
I tried it,
4.
and I didn't have the imagination for it.
It's a tough it's a tough read. But listeners, in my defence, I have seen 19 of the films based on those 100 books.
Yeah, I've probably
so
seen them,
get it. So listeners, as you know, we're both utterly uneducated scum. I knew if I sent you that, you would be under 5. I knew you would.
As soon as you sent me, I was like, oh man.
Yeah, as soon as I looked for the list, I thought, this is going to be embarrassing. This is going to be embarrassing. She says, what are you going to do when you finish reading all the books? He says, I'm going to take singing lessons and open a donut factory. She laughs and they go for a walk. She loves this time of night. He doesn't. He's only up because he can't sleep. He explains he's reading a book about a guy in armour who thinks he's a knight, but it's a world where they no longer exist. They no longer exist. So he's obviously reading, what's his name? Tilton at the Windmills. Sancho Panza. Yeah. His mate. I can see, listeners, I have no idea what anything's called. Just then, this car pulls up. It's Slavy, the pimp, not the pip. He hits her and drags her in. He says to Robert she's no good and gives him a card. Call me for better girl, doesn't he?
Aye.
Yeah. You know he's bad because he's Eastern European. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's
a formula that's worked for at least 30, 40 years.
Not fucking wrong, mate. Yeah, he's foreign, so he's a baddie.
Yeah.
The next night, he's reading in the diner, but there's no Alina. The following night, the same. The cook says, she's in the ICU at Shermat's. I heard someone beat her up real good. This guy, he's like out of central casting, isn't he?
Pretty much, gets paid though. Got paid for it.
Hey, you got your waffles here. Yeah. How'd you like your eggs, honey? Something. He heads in and she's being looked after by this Eastern European girl, also from the firm, we assume. She heads to get coffee where Robert is reading and spills it all over her. Mm-hmm. He helps to clean her up. Now, right. I was absolutely certain, at just a single glance, that this was Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, really?
This character.
Jesus.
It's like her Eastern European equivalent. We can't get Jennifer Lawrence. All right, get me a Slovak version, please.
I see what you mean. I know what you mean. Got the doughy eyes.
Yeah. She explains this guy hit her and she hit him back. So Slavy made an example of her. This is a reminder her life will never be hers. He made her drink battery acid.
Aye.
Fucking hell.
Which is...
how's that for your... I assume that's a little bit worse than sugar for you.
Pretty much, aye. Sulfuric acid will do that for you, aye. Which is in car batteries, just so you know.
Oh, there you go. Thank you very much for that. A whore who fucks and can't talk might be worth twice as much. Next time he say he cut her throat. I don't know why it says Angif.
I not bad guy.
I'm not bad hooker. We see Robert at home thinking about the conversations they had together. Meanwhile, Slavy has some posh restaurant and this very ornate office or bar thing above.
Yeah.
They're talking money and drugs. There's a knock at the door. Robert walks in. I'm here for the girl. You gave me this card. I give out lots of cards. You can still get it up, Dadushka. Which I was like, ooh. Dadushka is granddad. Is Russian for granddad.
Right.
I love this Chekhov's corkscrew, by the way, that one of these guys has got.
One.
It's just kind of you kind of spot it and you're like, okay, that's coming back, isn't it?
Somebody's getting that.
He says he's here for Alina, but the name doesn't ring a bell. He says he knows the girls are an investment, so he gives him $9,800 cash.
Nice.
And the line he says, for one single piece of pussy, must be Ferrari pussy. not mentioned in From Dusk Till Dawn, Ferrari pussy,
They got the wet pussy, they got the stinky pussy.
He says he can't buy whatever he wants. He'll just have to let him have her for that $9,800, but only for a month.
For a month.
Yeah. He makes that from her in 2 nights. This horrible line about selling her as a virgin over and over. He tells him to take his money and fuck off. Robert makes it as far as the door, which he then... He opens it and closes it, opens it and closes it.
That's an OCD thing, that.
Oh, is it really? Right,
okay. Need to shut remember people, they things like turn light switches off 5
Yeah.
There's got to be something like that, isn't it? Because it's just a bit
I've never
random.
thought of that. He then shuts it and locks it. And we get this scene where he murders them all in what he kind of hopes is 16 seconds.
Yeah.
He shoots
I
one
like
of
that,
them.
though. I did
He
like
glasses one in the eye.
Yep.
Knifes one. Corkscrew through the bottom of this guy. It looks like Wolf from Gladiator's mouth, doesn't he? And it ends up being 19 seconds, and he's kind of like, like he kind of like shrugs at the end, isn't he? As Slavy's dying, he says he died over 9,800 and that he should have taken the deal.
Yeah, and his heart rate's gone up. He was telling about his heart rate, which is
he
actually
was talking about his heart rate, yeah.
Yeah, so it turns out it does. If you're bleeding out, your heart rate will go up.
Oh, because your heart's trying to pump the blood around because it's not getting it. Oh, very good. I did find out there's a reason McCall offers Slavy 9,800 apparently. Anything over a certain amount requires what's called a CTR, not a telly, a currency transaction report, which is required by federal law, which requires ID, occupation information, and other personal information. For anyone trying to stay off the grid and maintain a low profile, McCall knows this and simply avoids having to file a CTR by only taking out 9,800.
Ooh.
That's quite interesting, isn't it?
Aye.
It might not be true, but I always think it's true.
Sounds good. I'd buy it if I was listening to this show,
though. Good on you. Good lad. Back at his job, Robert's cutting plywood to size. Ralphie grabs him and tells him that he made the weight with a day to spare. He spots that Bob has a cut hand. What happened? I hit it on something stupid is a fucking good line. It's easily a 10 out of 10 line, that. We're here on the radio that the murders are being treated as gangland killings. Fucking cops. Lazy cops, innit? Yeah. We see a private jet land and a chap has to be taken to the murder scene. This is Nikolai. He's investigating the scene for the gang.
Yeah.
Reading the autopsy reports and checking the security system. We learn he has cops in his pockets, including Masters, who is played by John? David Harbour.
Oh, David Harbour, sorry.
David Harbour.
No, I'm trying to think.
Mr. Lily Allen.
I'm looking at his name. He was in something. I think that
the boy Nikolai.
He was in that failed sci-fi thing with Charlize Theron. Remember that? Aeon
Flux.
Aye.
Yeah, no, I've never seen it, and I watch almost all sci-fi stuff that comes out.
David Harbour's so fucking thin in this, though, isn't he?
Yeah. I was going to say young, but not particularly young. He gets mouthy, but this guy's here to tell them what to do. They've been on Pushkin's payroll now for long enough, and he says they need to act like it. At the Home Depot, Robert asks the manager where Ralphie is. He called and quit with no notice. Kid, sir. No, listen, Mr. Manager. Maybe talk to your fucking staff. And stuff like this wouldn't happen, Robert knows it isn't right and heads to this restaurant. It's his mum's place. He works here now because she needs the help. There was a fire, and you look up, and there's obviously like this stuff that's been doused in petrol. It's arson, well and truly. He meets Mum and agrees to help them clean up. Nikolai heads to Boston Sand and Gravel, right? Which I instantly went, Boston Sand and Gravel, that can't be real because of the way that they act. Oh, yes, it's a real company.
Oh,
it's
really?
actually called Boston Sand and Gravel, yeah. Can you imagine agreeing to have your company feature on this with an owner on the take?
Been on the take and an
yeah,
asshole.
who says some pretty fucking racist things to this Russian guy. They have a concrete calculator on their website, John, which isn't as much use as the inflation calculator that I use every single week. But I have bookmarked it just in case, because you never know. Yeah, whatever you do, don't call him Little John. That's
so funny.
Us Irish came over for a piece of the American dream. You came to take over and all this kind of thing. Us Irish, mate, like, it's been 100 years.
I know.
You're about as fucking Irish as me. Nikolai tells him that he knows they're stealing 10% on top of the 15% that they're paid, and then basically beats him almost to death after calling him Little John. It's pretty gruesome. He's a bad bastard.
Oh, God,
Master shoots his hired goons, and this is why we learn Nikolai doesn't give a fuck. It's a message. It says, I'm here. Ralphie admits to Robert he knows it's not a faulty wire, but because of this, he's got to put his life on hold and help her out. Nikolai's in speaking to... I've written Jennifer Lawrensky here. can't remember her name, about Terry's whereabouts. She explains she did not know her. Nikolai in this hotel speak to Mr. Pushkin. He's got all these tattoos, like prison style. Looks like a shit red dragon, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
All over his naked torso, and he believes it's someone they've never seen with a particular set of skills.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, that's somebody Irish as well, isn't it? You know, he'd fucking hate him as well.
But I think he is proper Irish.
Oh, he actually is Irish. Ralphie's mum's place is back open again, and these two cops take this extorted money from her, clean the grease traps. It could cause a fire. It's like, you fucking pieces of shit. But they ask for tamales. It's a traditional Mexican dish made with corn-based dough mixture that is filled with various meats or beans and cheese. Right. Tamales are wrapped and cooked in corn husks or banana leaves, but they're removed from the husks before eating.
Hot tamale?
So tasty. Hot tamale
Some
indeed.
hot tamale.
Out the back, Robert approaches them with his flashlight, saying he saw a crime. They're like, well, report it to 911. They ignore him and get into the car. He calls them on their mobile in the car, which is great. How did you get this number? He says, the same way I got this, and it's a video of them extorting another business. He's like, how many copies have you got? He said, just the one. And he says, you must have a death wish. I was like, bah, bah, bah. Oh, no, hang on. No, hang on. This isn't called death wish, but hey, Belly, that's my line. They grab the phone off him and threaten to throw him in the river. He batters the fuck out of them. Yeah. You're supposed to stand for something. He threatens if they don't return all the money that they've extorted, they'll see the footage on the news unedited. We see them paying back the money to Ralphie's mum, and the line as they're leaving, that hurt more than the beating. It's fucking great. I had a good time with that. And the next day we see Ralphie is now back at the depot. We're at Mandy's house now. That's the other Russian girl. And the bad guy knows that she was close with Terry. All the other girls have told her. She admits the only person at the hospital was a kind black man. And then he just fucking brutally strangles this lassie to death. Doesn't he? In this like chokehold.
Yeah.
To the tune of this music box that's just Lara's theme from Dr. Zhivago, which we've done possibly twice on this podcast already. So we can't do it again. But it's fucking grim.
Yeah, it's bad, isn't it? So it takes 1,000 to 1,250 foot-pounds of force to break a human neck, just so you know.
Oh, good work.
I say force, but I mean torque. You know what I mean.
You mean parsecs?
Which is how I time my microwave oven.
More on that later. So you time your Kessel run. We're at this work softball date, by the way. Is there anything Robert can't do? Because this guy's like, he's going to catch this ball. He's coming right to I've got it. And he just fucking sweeps in and takes it. I'm like, what a dick.
Just showing off.
Yeah. Ralphie's in his security outfit, happy days. You know, he looks good, and obviously he's doing it. You know, he's never taking it off. He's going to be wearing it. His cousin's kids. He's going to be buried in it.
They actually do need to set a test. I didn't know this.
Right.
So, just looking it up, it says prior to seeking employment, you must first obtain a registration card by filling out an online paper application for a private investigation license board, which also requires a passing score of a written examination. So they need to do it, but there's no training. They just need to set this fucking exam. That's it.
Oh, very good. Training's just on the job, I assume.
Pretty much, I just learn how to hold a torch. That's it.
How to ride around on a Segway in a mall. Poor Blah.
Oh God, don't.
Back at the depot, he approaches the cash register for a refund, but the cashier's being held up. This guy with a gun. He opens the register and they give him all the money. And he also takes Jenny, the woman on the registers, her mother's ring. She says, please don't, it's my mother's. Robert sees the guy's tats, the logo on his cap, and follows him to see the car that he leaves him. He then heads up the tool aisle and picks up this sledgehammer.
Yeah.
The next morning, Jenny the cashier heads back to her till and finds her ring inside. and we see Robert wiping and putting this sledgehammer back on sale. So someone's going to buy that hammer, right? And it's covered in DNA, which links it to a murder that's going to see them wrongfully convicted.
Robert's a man.
Thanks very much, CSI Boston.
Yeah, thank you, Robert.
So he's not all that good, is he?
Nah.
Sledgehammer John. The word sledgehammer is derived from the Old English schlagen, which in its first sense means to strike violently. The English words slag, slay, and slog are cognates.
Slog.
Get my pub, you schlag.
Get my pub, you slog.
Magnusson Sledgehammer John, 1999 at Tool Station. There you go. Get yourself on the tools.
Nip in there, grab one, smash somebody's face in, and then just put it back.
Take it back, yeah.
Right.
Go, no. If a series of sledgehammer-related murders, it wasn't me, sir. I've not touched anything with this sledgehammer. I want to return it. You'll notice it's pristine and not absolutely covered in shards of skull. I like that we don't see this, by the way. I like it's expected.
Oh yeah.
It's just brutal.
Yeah, there's no need to find out how he knew how to find them and how he killed them. So that's good. Oh, good.
That night he goes to leave his apartment, and on the stairs, Nikolai is there asking him why he was there. He says, "I was meeting a friend. She didn't show. Her kid had fever. Don't you want to leave me a card, officer?" "Oh, I must have given them all out," he says. "But how did you find me? I paid cash. There was no reservation. It's what we do. We who. It's good. He's asking all the right questions." Really good.
By the way, Nikolai, see before this, Nikolai drives in a 2006 Maserati. It's called a quadruport. Have you heard of these?
Right.
Basically just means a Maserati 4-door.
Oh, right.
I'm like, what?
Okay. I looked for private planes. I looked for buying a private plane, by the way, and every single website that sells private planes, you like a private jet, you've got to apply. Aye. You've got to apply for the price. So I wasn't able to find us any pricing on those. I just assumed someone somewhere's selling jet since he died, but maybe not. Oh, spoiler for the end. Oh, fucking hell! Eek.
Trigger warning.
Sorry. Next morning, Robert heads to the drugstore and picks up some stuff. He buys some things. Nikolai plans to take him out clean, a place where there's no cameras, and take him alive. Meanwhile, Robert is fixing a clock or a watch? ? Yeah. It took me a little while to figure this out.
Yeah,
At the diner, this worker walks in and makes an order. And he sits down at the table a few tables away. He's like, "We're waiting for somebody else?" He's like, "What?" He says, "Your hands. If you worked the power lines, your hands wouldn't look like that." And he laughs, pulls a gun and approaches Robert, who just punches him out and heads towards the car with Masters and Nikolai in it across the road, photographing them on his phone as he does. They follow him to a building site where he takes out one goon and takes his phone. They've lost him. Back at his apartment, he puts this pan on the boil. I was like, what is he cooking with there?
I thought he was going to do
I thought it was an explosive. Yeah, I thought he was going to see. Or he was just going to take a pan of oil and throw it out the window like some sort of medieval torture device.
Especially honey, I'm like, oh, it's going to be really sticky.
Yeah, absolutely. Boiling honey, using it to seal a wound.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Literally. But people have been using honey for thousands of years, just for healing wounds. It says it's obviously there's lots of stuff out there that you could buy, but honey is still a good healing material for wounds. But the thing, I thought he was trying to stick it together because it looks as if it was like a cut.
I thought that's what he was doing as well. Yeah, like super gluing it together. According to NHS Oxford Health site, medical honey is a natural non-toxic agent that, as you've said, has been used to treat wounds for thousands of years. It's used within wound dressings to reduce or stop the growth of a wide range of bacteria, which are commonly found in wound beds. The Baddens are in his apartment. They open the bathroom door, but he's already gone. They find this receipt in the bathroom bin. He's watching them on a spy camera from the clock, which is what he was doing. Mm-hmm. Also one on the laptop and one in a model train.
A train, yeah, that was quite good. Yeah.
He had a script for travel sickness tablets. He bought tickets for Mexico and also had a receipt for loads of toiletries. But Nikolai doesn't buy that.
Nah, he's not buying it.
He's going. It's all a plan.
He's watching.
And he knows that they're being watched. Yeah. They can't find him, so they leave. This next scene, for some reason, he's gone to Downton Abbey. Maybe. I don't know. Where Robert's seeing Melissa Leo and Bill Paxton. Pullman.
The president before the invasion.
Yeah, before he got it by that, before he fell onto that train track. Sandra Bullock. Yeah, right. So, these people are not in this film. I assume they might return in the second and third ones, but they are not in this film. She's ex-FBI, and there's pictures of her with presidents and the lot in this parlour that they're sat in. And he wants to know who Nikolai is. The next day or whatever, he's playing chess, and Pullman tells him he had a nice funeral. He was apparently killed by a car bomb. So he's obviously been deep cover, which is quite interesting. How would you like to fake die, John? Have you ever given this any thought?
So I think somebody's already stole my idea for the canoe, so I'm thinking I want to go spelunking.
Oh.
I go spelunking and then just never appear.
And get descented.
Aye.
With those descent monsters, mate. You can fucking keep that. I'd quite like to fake die at our live show, August the 17th at Megacon Carlisle.
No.
Tickets available, by the way. Possibly crushed by a door in fans trying to get ours.
Aye.
Or a car bomb. Either works.
Yeah,
It's fine. A helicopter arrives and lands on the lawn. It's Melissa Leo's character returning. She explains he didn't take out pimps, but Pushkin's East Coast hub. Pushkin is in everything that makes money. His money and political ties make him untouchable, and Nikolai is his problem solver. He learnt his skills in the Spetsnaz, which is the Russian Special Forces, I learned. I also went down a bit of a rabbit hole there, but nothing interesting enough for this podcast. She calls him a sociopath with a business card, which I quite like.
Yeah, that's nice.
We learn that the cops on the take that he found out were killed, their testicles cut off, shoved down their throats. It's a proper Bush Tucker challenge, that, isn't
exactly, aye. God.
The next morning, Susan asks why Alina, Susan's Melissa Leo's character, one day someone does something unspeakable to someone and you do something because you can. She says, I know a part of you died when Vivian did, but not the part she loved the most. Go be him, which is nice. She tells Bill he didn't come for help, he came for permission. Ba 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 is another good line. Almost there, listeners. We're onto the final bit of the film where it starts to get a little bit formulaic, if I'm honest. Back in Boston, Masters is at his home ignoring his calls. He hears a car alarm, loads his gun, and heads to his garage. Looking in the car, he sees a hose pipe, and that's when Robert punches him, locks him in the car, and starts the engine, shutting the windows. As the car begins to fill with all these fumes, Robert winds the windows down, demanding answers. Go fuck yourself. He winds the window back up. Masters is really struggling. It's like, I'm a cop, you moron. Which he really missed the opportunity to go, I'm a cop, you idiot. In my opinion, would have been much better.
Yeah. Then it got sued.
Yeah, that's true. Robert heads to leave him in the car, choking, and he's banging on the window. And then we smash cut to them both getting buzzed into this meat packing plant. We get through the room where Rocky fights all the
the meats,
the carcasses.
Yeah.
To find it's actually a money laundering place. Masters tells this guy running the show they need to clear out. It's Pushkin's orders. Robert asks the guy, Andrei, if he can see his gun, and he grabs it off him and tells him and his men to lay their guns down. This next scene, Robert's giving these women that were counting the money a bundle each. Mr. Pushkin, thanks you for your service. Okay. He tells Frank to call it into the cops. He does, but he's not best pleased. He's like, I'm a fucking dead man. I won't last a week. He says, then do the right thing, Frank. I know you didn't get this far without an out. Where did you keep it? Mm-hmm. We hear the cops arriving, and then the next scene is Robert at a bank vault taking Masters' passport and his thumb drive.
Yeah. Jason Bourne's right behind him.
Very much so, yeah. At the scene, the cops point out that Frank had $200k in his boot, and there was footage of everything. They find a dollar bill that says follow the money on it. And then opening a fridge, we see the goons tied up with stacks upon stacks of money. And the cop, who's going to count this? It's also
That
pretty
fucking
good.
shed load, isn't
At dinner, Nikolai's just finished his meal. It's this fishbone like what you see cartoon cats eating, isn't
it?
it?
Oh, aye, God, aye. It's like, what the hell?
Robert arrives and sits across from him. He says, I look at you and I see nothing. Like lint or a bottle cap. Something I need to remove, doesn't he? Robert tells this story, and I've kind of taken this off the internet because I thought it was that good. He says, I knew a Russian police captain back in the day. He told me about a case he worked on. Can't remember the guy's name. He was a famous scholar, lived in Moscow. He was a humanitarian and author. Anyway, he decided to share his abundance with someone less fortunate. And even though he had 5 children, he opened his home to a 6th. An orphan, 12-year-old boy. Kid had been pounded by the system from an early age, troubled, prone to violence, a lost cause. Oh, stop me if you know this one. So this good man opened his home to this boy, and the boy stole from him. This good man loved him anyway. When the boy failed in school, the man showed understanding and patience. When the boy lied and cheated and clawed and fought, this good man showed compassion and love. Until the boy, who had never felt anything like being wanted or loved, he finally did. The man had broken through. By all accounts, it was a miracle. 1 week later, intruders broke into the man's house, killed the man and his wife in bed. They said some small things were stolen, things a child might steal. No one knows for sure. The man's children were sent off to relatives. The boy, the orphan, shipped back to hell. Just when he finally had a chance at life, it was snatched away by 2 bullets. And it's kind of good. It's, you know, I think the line is something like, "Did they ever catch you? Did it?" And he says, "Yeah." You know, sometimes the answer's right in front of you. Maybe the boy killed him. You know, that kind of thing. It's obviously a story about Nikolai.
Aye, Sam.
Yeah.
God, aye.
Robert says he's given him the chance to make it right and leaves his number. He says, I've done some bad things in my life. I promised someone I love I would never go back, but I'm willing to make an exception for you.
For you.
That's good.
Ooh,
he leaves and heads back to his apartment. Checking the thumb drive, we see it's full of transfers, payments to Baddens, to cops, and also has all the files of all of the girls.
Mm-hmm.
He calls Agent Mosi at the bureau. Check your email. Make sure you're sitting down when you do. And look, you've got a history of IT, John, right?
Yep.
That's a lot of fucking data to send to one internal email unsolicited.
Yeah, I think you can only send X amount. I think it used to be 10 meg, so...
Like, still expect it to get through and not fall into a fucking spam folder.
Pretty much,
do you know what I mean? Yeah. Nikolai gets a call from Pushkin. He needs him exterminated, or it's Nikolai that gets it instead. The war chief's looking through some pictures of Robert and sees Ralphie in the picture with him. Robert is getting sorted in his apartment. He's got like 8 phones all laid out, hasn't he? Loads of phones. He gets a call from Nikolai saying he'll need to help them. And then there's a call waiting. He says, you'll want to answer that. And it's Ralphie explaining him and other members of the team have been taken. Nikolai says he's going to kill them in 30 minutes unless Robert's there in 29. I missed a little bit here because there's a bit where he blows up this tanker, doesn't he? He blows up like this whole fucking port.
Yeah, he blows up one of his ships,
of tankers, and I was kind of like,
it's like usual suspect,
he just walks away from it, doesn't he? It's some pretty shonky CG. But yeah, he just kind of walks away from it. There's essentially no oxygen inside a gas tank. The gasoline vapour concentration is above the upper explosive limit and will not ignite unless the fuel is mixed with more air. Lead bullets do not ignite fires.
Ooh, why
which explains
why?
Yeah, why, John? But that explains why he uses C4, which obviously does the job.
That'll do.
They're tracking Robert's phone and he's arriving on the bus. They're watching this bus from the roof of the thing. But the bus is empty and it's just his phone with call forwarding on.
That was quite clever. That was good.
Yeah, I liked that. Just then in the office at the shop, Midnight Train to Georgia starts playing. This goon takes Ralphie to the security office to switch off the PA. Robert shows up and breaks the goon's neck. He then calls the other Russian across the walkie-talkie in Russian. Nikolai is here with 3 more goons with massive guns. And that's when the lights go out and replaced by spotlights. Now, this is where it all gets a little bit Home Depot alone, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does, doesn't it?
He changed the fire doors shut. Is this the Phoenix Club? USSR ticket sales of Home Alone, John, $675,907. So there's a good chance that these Soviet bad bastards never saw it, and so didn't know what was coming next.
Yeah.
He spread some sharp sand out in the aisle, and this so he can hear the goon coming. And this goon in a different aisle gets fucking hung by this ball of barbed wire.
Yeah.
Doesn't he? Just goes round his fucking neck and just catapults him up. Yeah. Another gets a Rambo knife on a washing line prop.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Is that what it was? I couldn't quite figure. It's really fucking dark, listeners, so I couldn't really see what's going on.
But definitely some kind of knife on an extendable rod.
Yeah, just take to the. Is it one of those rods that you put down your drains?
Yeah.
There's a driller killer one as well. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I quite liked that. And after a tussle with this massive Soviet, he puts a shard of mirror through this bloke's spinal column. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
As he's lying there having a minute, Ralphie arrives to pick him up. Robert and Ralphie end up under fire. Robert sends Ralphie to the circuit breaker, telling him he's got 40 seconds only. He makes it and turns back on the power. In the break room, a goon gets absolutely incinerated by this explosive in the microwave.
Yeah, it's put some big D in there.
And this, of course, causes the sprinklers to set off. And, water always looks good in slow motion.
Oh, yeah.
Slow-mo, Robert unloads a clip into Nikolai. It's good filmmaking. It looks good. The next day at Pushkin's mansion, he's in the shower and the lights go out. Who are you? He says, everybody wants to know who I am. He says, what do you want? He says, I want the head of the snake. He says, I can help you get that. Money's no option. And then he just vanishes. He's gone. But he's left the sink taps running and they overflow and onto the floor where there's this bare wire which just fucking electrocutes him.
Yeah, that was good. Again,
that's how they got Marv, isn't it? The electrocuted Marv.
Yep, Home Alone.
Back in Boston, we see Robert with his shopping, and here's Alina chasing him. She's reading now, and she says she got an envelope at the hospital with almost $10,000 in it and a ticket out of town. She's going to use it to be whoever she wants to be, because he said she could. She kisses him on the cheek and leaves. And then we see him in the diner on his laptop with what I can only assume is like a Craigslist advert.
Setting up the original list, remember? He used to do it on, he did it in the papers, didn't he?
Yeah, he had like a phone number on the papers, didn't he? He'll help anyone that needs it.
If you know how to find him. No.
That's a different 80s TV show. Yeah, absolutely. That's it. And it's all right. It's okay. It's fun. I'm gonna watch the second one.
Yes.
See what it's got
so,
going on.
Who's in it? Oh, Joel, the Last of Us is in it.
Oh, is it really? All right. Okay, good.
Pedro.
Any more facts, John?
So I was going to do facts on police badges, but we've already done that, haven't we?
Ooh, what have you got?
No, nothing. I didn't do it because we already done it on our show. Remember we talked about the materials. The only one I've got is the best way to count in seconds, right? So I've done this as an experiment. So the big one is to count 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, blah blah blah. The other one, which is my personal favourite, is 1 tick tick, 2 tick tick, 3 tick tick, 4 like that, right?
Oh, right, okay.
The one that was most accurate was the tick tick. That thousand's a bag of pish.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
Tick tick works for me. I've got some guns for you though.
Oh, excellent.
Handguns, Glock 17, Glock 19, Colt Detective Special, which I think we've seen before. A Beretta 92. Submachine guns, our old pal, the IMI Uzi, the IMI Micro Uzi, the Heckler & Glock MP5A3. Shotguns are looking at a Remington 870. That was a sawn-off one, and a double-barrel shotgun. Doesn't say the name. That's it. That's all I got.
Excellent.
Oh,
fantastic.
and a nail gun. Sorry.
A nail gun. Yeah. Denzel recommended Antoine Fuqua for the director's role.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't in place. He was in place before the director. It's pretty good, eh?
Good. What a lucky Fuqua.
What a lucky Fuqua indeed. Of course, we talked already about the original Equalizer TV show, but what I didn't know, John, is there is a 2001 TV show with Queen Latifah as Robin McCall.
Yeah, I didn't want to watch it. I don't know much
4
story in it,
seasons, 56 episodes. Never heard of it.
Nah,
No
I'd
idea.
seen it, but I was like, nah.
I like her. I like her in most things.
But again, they did the MacGyver thing where they've got a big, massive team. That wasn't the way. McCall
Oh, was
that,
it really?
McCall had
no,
that
there's
one
no
guy,
need.
mind him with the gravelly voice. Had that
Yeah,
one guy, and that was it.
No, there's absolutely no need.
You need.
Back to Sledgehammers, John. Sledgehammer, 1986 song by Peter Gabriel from that brilliant album, So, which is really good. You know the video, though, of course, stop motion. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Won a record of 9 MTV Video Music Awards at the 1987 MTV Video Music Awards, funnily enough, and the Best British Video at the 1987 Brit Awards. In a 2005 poll conducted by Channel 4, the music video was ranked second on their list of 100 greatest pop videos. Now, my question for you is, John, can you guess what number 1 was? Now, this is of all time up till 2005. Best videos.
Right, so it's either going to be Smack My Bitch Up by Prodigy, which is
That's a great video.
Oh, it really is, I love it. Or what year was it?
This 2005.
All right, it's got to be Michael Jackson's greatest hits, Thriller at least.
Oh, mate, how the fuck did you get that?
Because that's the only other. See, when you think about old videos, that's the only one that sticks in your head.
Yeah, that and we got to restore colour TVs. You know, look at it. Yeah, you're right. Fucking hell, well done, mate. I'm very impressed. Anyway, it was massive everywhere. 9 in the stupid, sexy Flanders Ultra Pop. 6 where, John?
The Netherlands.
There you go, 2 Netherlands for the price of 1, listeners. Number 4 in the Mika Hakkinen Top 40 of Finland. Number 3 in the fucking Prawn. And number 1 in Canada A. That is pretty much all I've got. John, how many do you think we got?
Oh, God, both of us are a bit lacking a day, so I'd say about 73.
Oh, John, 69.
What? My
Nice.
second favourite number?
It's what, behind 73?
No, we've said 1. Me!
1 is the loneliest number. 69 facts. I mean,
Jesus.
come on. You know, it is what it is. And one of those facts being Gladys Knight and Ron Winans Chicken and Waffles. Although we still don't know who Ron Winan is. There you go.
I know.
We-
It's a
and we
great
never
night
will.
out, though. Great night out.
Fantastic. Of course, we couldn't do what we do without drink. It's pretty much how it works. No, we couldn't do what we do
And who pays for that drink?
with the patrons. That's right, John, the
Hey.
patrons. They pay for the drink. Again, apologies. I think I've promised that we're soon going to start insulting the people that pay for it, because I know they like that. But just with the week we've had with the cats and the building and work and things, I just haven't had a chance. So let's shout those people out. Hi guys, Plenty here in the editing studio. Just a very quick one before I do the patrons. In the time it's taken us to record and for me to edit this, we've got a new patron. So I'd like to shout out Lee Davies. Lee, thank you very much for your quid. Hopefully we are getting you through your working day, listening to the podcast. Now let's get on to the other lovely people that have paid us. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much to Dean, that Efkin Guy, the Modern Escapism Lot, Candy, Oodles, Stig, Gadget and Biggie, Kieran, Jake, lovely Rob Jones, Jen, Megan, Dale, Ali, Maria, Paul from SP Film Viewers, Ian McComish, Emily Vint, Nigel Davis from the Wonder Emporium, who's going to be selling stuff at Megacon as well with us, Dan and Gavin. We're having some very good Euros football chat in our little group chat. Aaron from Z1 Podcast, who sent us some badges, stinking badges.
Nice.
Fantastic, and they're back and going. Joe from Hallmark of Greatness, who's doing it all on his own without me and James at the minute.
Oh, God.
Because we're busy. Mono is back. Mono and Kira are back with Boys Chat now that the Boys is back,
Yep.
but I haven't caught up yet, so I haven't listened to that. Ian called Connections, Gav McGill, Josh Wilson, Rachel and Phil. Thank you very much for your money. The next episode you hear from us will be us talking about a film picked. So as soon as we've done that, we'll do another draw on the wheel. We'll spin that wheel again and see if see who wants what film done. Probably fucking Sarlo or something like that from Dean, knowing how
don't.
Don't. John, any final words before we head off
just
into
remember
the sunset?
Everybody about Megacon, 17th of August. Get your ass along. It should be a
link
good laugh.
to the tickets in the show notes, by the way. Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm thinking it should be a good laugh.
I started watching Shrek the other day. I watched about half an hour of Shrek the other day. It's it's all right. It's all right.
It's all right. We'll pick up on all the adult jokes, don't you worry.
Yeah, but we can't say them.
Oh, dead.
But for now, he's been John, I've been Planty, and this has been 69 nice things we learned from The Equalizer. See ya.
See ya.